Good morning and welcome back to The Breakfast Show, the show worth waking up for with myself, Sasha and JP. Now, what you saw just now is some fabulous advanced technology in protecting. Just now we were talking about feet as well. We're talking about feet again.
Yes.
And how can you prevent these joints from getting injured? Now, if you go running a lot like my darling JP here, all the time running,
all the time. It's very, very important to take care of the things that carry you through your life, to make sure that your feet have the right kind of armor to take you through that battle against the road. Like they said, rise above the run. Make sure that you're getting where you're going to go, whether it's for health reasons or it's just to get there. Make sure you do it in comfort and in style. And to tell us more about this, we got the people from Brooks. We got none other than Mark Reyneker, who's a podiatrist from Family Podiatrist Center, and Andy Chin, who is a marketing executive for Brooks Malaysia.
Good morning, gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us on the show. Now, why is choosing a pair of shoes important, before you start running professionally or, even recreationally? Consistently, basically.
The foot that you're holding, the part where your left hand is made up of 28 bones.
28 bones?
Yeah. So that's a large 25% of your body's bones are in the feet. You can see that they are very small. They're all lined up very, very carefully next to each other. And then you have ligaments that hold them together. And what you don't see on these models is that there are also muscles and tendons holding this entire structure together.
Okay.
So it's a very delicate structure, even though it is an engineering marvel as to how it carries our weight.
Absolutely.
So we need to make sure that whatever we select to house this particular foot is suitable for the activity that we're going to engage in.
It all comes down to weight distribution at the end of the day in terms of how the system of the bones here functions, really, right? In absorbing shock and weight distribution. So to have that extra level of padding, it just helps it to function all that much better.
Yeah.
And also from the visuals we saw just now, there's support. There needs to be support in the arches, as well as, protection on the heel and everything. Is that right?
There are a couple of things that a shoe needs to provide the foot with. Many decades ago, all we needed a shoe for was protection.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it warm, protect it from stones,
doesn't get dirty,
doesn't get dirty, that
doesn't
sort
get
of thing.
infected, yeah.
Yes, but now a couple of decades on, it's become very, very, very advanced because many studies have shown that we need shock absorption. Right. We need more than protection, and so shoes have become very, very advanced now in protecting the foot.
And a lot of technological research goes into it as well.
Andy, how does Brooks bring us this kind of protection and quality and foresight in terms of providing the best technology for the shoe?
So as you can see, Brooks we are a company that is producing high technical running shoes. And by the year of 2014, will be our 100 years anniversary.
Wow!
So we are actually in a very niche market that we are only producing very technical and high performance running shoes.
Specialty running shoes.
Yeah. So every time before, maybe I would say a runners, because the runners is our customers, right?
Yeah.
I would say a runners, before he's purchasing any running shoes, I will ask them a question. Do you know what kind of feet do you have? There's a reason why I have Mark here as my guest to explain more about the feet structure, and is it pronated, and the width of the feet as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, and so this is some of the detailing inside the shoe, is that right?
Yeah, this is some of the technology we have in the shoe. So as you can see, the graph they showed just now, so in a pair of Brooks shoes, we actually attach like more to 10 or 20 technologies. So the one you are holding there, do you spot the gray color part at your right hand side, the DRB? That is a post-diagonal roll bar system. This system, which is a system with using 2 levels of material hardness.
Okay.
This is actually a pronate support system.
All right, because from what we understand as well, that when your foot is excessively pronated or supinated, it puts a lot of pressure on the inside or outside of the ankle joint.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
That's correct, yeah.
And then especially when you're running at high impact, you're hitting the ground very hard, eventually it can lead to stress fractures, tendonitis, and those kinds of issues.
Correct.
Which, as a hardcore runner knows, nobody wants to go through that.
Nobody wants to go through those kind of things, definitely not.
And also we have that, you saw the green color part over there.
This is like a squishy gel honeycomb.
This is very interesting, as this is what we call the DNA. So this is under Brooks research patency.
DNA.
So this is what we call the DNA, Brooks DNA. So how this thing works is actually create a bouncing power. So what, from the modern running shoes we found in the market, it's actually designed by the medium or the average runner's height and weight. So when the faster runner or bigger runner, they will find these things, is the supporting cushioning system is too soft for them. But when the smaller or maybe slower runners, you will find vice versa. So it will be too hard for them. So what this thing do magically is it actually creates is actually create a bouncing energy feedback system when you're going up, and it actually a shock absorption system when you're going down. So it's because we are talking about protection to prevent injuries.
So it's like an active push-pull in terms of the support. So when you're on the ball, it pulls on the heel to balance a little. Is that something? Is it kind of
more or less the same?
More or less something.
It's exactly.
That's
something
fantastic.
Like this.
So obviously, sorry. So yes, doctor.
Sorry. The foot goes through a lot of changes during a run.
Correct.
So if you're running, let's say, a 15 to 20 kilometer run, initially when you're starting off, you're feeling good. Your foot functions a very different way. But towards the 10 kilometer or 15 kilometer, fatigue starts to set in.
The heel
and just like with any other exercise that you're doing, you'll notice if you were lifting weights, for example, you become a little bit more sloppy as to how you do because fatigue is kicking in. And the same thing starts to happen with the foot. So if this is your right foot and your left foot, we find that the arches perhaps start to lower. The foot starts to land incorrectly. And so technology like this protects you from injuries because it's there to help guide the foot, to support the foot. So the grey piece, the PDRB portion, sits at an angle inside the shoe. This is for a left foot. And it sits at an angle inside the shoe, so your heel will normally land here. And this is where the arch will land. So it sort of just supports it a little bit more, just to help with that fatigue. And prevent injuries.
And you definitely do feel that fatigue around about that 10 to 12 kilometer, and especially the pull of the back, the middle of the arch there. If you're getting fatigued a little bit as well, you'll definitely
can feel it. And another thing I also noticed from personal experience as well is that I was advised to place something like this in my shoe, and I noticed after using it for a couple of days, my lower back pain and hip pain started to disappear. And I think that was, again, because of the pronation, going in with this pronation, it starts to pull on your joints even all the way up. So how has knowing these facts helped Brooks design, and create new technologies?
Okay. So one of the new technology that we have developed on this, what we call the PDRB system, is actually, as can you see from these shoes, this is the guide rail system. So replacing the old Transcend, which is a shoes that are with a supporting system over here, the Transcend still provide a maximum support system for the users. So how it really works, the magic things is the black color things over here. As you can see, this is the guide rails design, and this is the new findings of Brooks, and thanks to our researcher in USA to do this research and the study of stride signature.
Fantastic. So now when can our fabulous runners out there, or people like JP, when can they look forward to the launch of the new Transcend?
These shoes will be launching probably by February 2014, which is 4 months later. And then we only have around 360 pairs limited across Malaysia.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually a quite superior and luxury class of shoes.
I have to get me some of these.
Exactly.
Well, I don't want to end up with 4 toes like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's missing its big toe. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. It's been very, very informative. I always love how technology is able to protect us, and science and development is able to come together to create something new. So thank you very much. And for our viewers out there, as it was mentioned, these shoes will be out in February 2014. Only how many shoes in Malaysia?
360 pairs.
360 pairs. So if you want to make sure you're one of them,
240 for the males and 120 for the females.
There you go.
They're reasonably priced.
Yeah, so you have to make sure you get your pair quickly as soon as they come out. All right, now we're going to go for another quick break, but don't go away, because when we come back, we've got a little bit more of updates on gadgets for you.